Marriage, in my opinion, should not be based on financial gain. However, there are individuals in this world who possess a strong desire for wealth. My sister-in-law, Selena, was one such person. I never anticipated that a situation involving inheritance would arise when my brother, a skilled surgeon, passed away. Allow me to introduce myself. I am Mary Smith, the manager of a prestigious jewelry store. At 31 years old, I am currently single, but I find great fulfillment in my career. Recently, my boyfriend officially proposed to me, and I believe it is time for me to consider marriage. Since our engagement, we have taken the opportunity to meet each other's parents. Tomorrow, we have a family gathering planned, where not only our parents but also our siblings were expected to attend. I have an older brother who is 8 years my senior. Tyler, my brother, works as a respected surgeon at a general hospital in Tokyo. Additionally, he possesses an attractive appearance and is highly regarded by our relatives. Due to our age difference, my brother has always been kind and indulgent towards me since I was young. He expressed his happiness upon hearing of my impending marriage, but jokingly warned me not to bring any unfamiliar men to the family meeting. I couldn't help but laugh at his comment, as he questioned whether he was my father. I assured him that my fiancé is a kind-hearted individual, even nicer than him. Although my brother seemed slightly skeptical, he acknowledged that my fiancé must be more considerate than he is. It is worth mentioning that my brother has been married for 4 years, and his wife also possesses an attractive appearance. However, her qualities are limited to her physical appearance alone. Selena, my sister-in-law, possesses a clear nasal passage and eyes that resemble those of a model. Her beauty is often associated with fashion models. When my brother and Selena walk together, it feels as if they are acting in a dramatic production. They are frequently approached by people on this planet. My brother is deeply in love with his wife and does not hold her responsible for quitting her job or indulging in luxury brand bags. It appears that he willingly allows her to spend his money without any objections. She mentioned that she cannot attend the family gathering today because she plans to attend the release of a new collection by Chloe. This situation has occurred multiple times, where Selena misses family gatherings due to her obsession with brand name items. Initially, my parents and I were sympathetic towards her, thinking that her stunning appearance must come with its own set of challenges. However, over time, Selena's behavior became increasingly unacceptable. She even canceled tomorrow's meeting, which she had no intention of attending in the first place. Her reasoning was that if only blood relatives were present, it wouldn't matter. But once she discovered that the event was taking place at a renowned hotel, she suddenly expressed her love for afternoon tea at that specific location and decided to attend. However, she later canceled the day before the meeting, despite us already making reservations for the entire party. It was incredibly rude. I don't mind if she chooses not to attend, but I don't want to always be at her beck and call. I tried to my apologies for interrupting you, but I must inform my sibling that they were too lenient towards Selena. They expressed regret for constantly bothering her and made sure she listened attentively. Furthermore, they assured me of their presence tomorrow as they managed to persuade me. What I find displeasing is not only her selfishness, but also the way she manipulates my busy surgeon brother into apologizing to everyone, taking messages, and running errands for her. Selena became a full-time homemaker after getting married, but she avoids doing any household chores by hiring cleaners and frequently dining out. Although she isn't occupied with tasks, her schedule revolves around purchasing luxury bags and clothing. The following day, the meeting proceeded smoothly, allowing my significant other to secure their endorsement, and it concluded peacefully. Initially, I believed it was an enjoyable gathering, but the satisfaction was short-lived. Later that evening, while I was reporting the successful conclusion of the dinner party, Selena suddenly began shouting at me. She stated that it didn't matter if I didn't answer and proceeded to question the whereabouts of her scones and macarons. Perplexed, I silently wondered what she was referring to, as I couldn't recall her asking me to purchase any sweets. Before I could inquire about her statement, she interrupted me and accused me of being inattentive. She exclaimed that both my sibling and I were incredibly bothersome. However, I genuinely don't recall being instructed to buy any snacks. I attempted to respond, but she continued screeching. The sound through the telephone was disruptive, She mentioned that I had previously confessed my affection. Didn't we have a pleasant afternoon tea at that particular hotel? It's all right since I couldn't make it there. Would it be acceptable for you to bring me a memento? I comprehend that concept. Even though I didn't grasp her words, I was being persuaded. The voice on the phone grew louder. Hey, if you haven't purchased it yet, please do so. I was eagerly anticipating it. However, the primary reason we visited that hotel today was due to a family gathering, correct? If you assert that, then you should go since you had the entire day free. I attempted to express this, but she dismissed it and abruptly ended the call. I wonder what it was about. After the successful dinner party, I was in a cheerful mood, but now I feel drained. I wonder if Tyler can find solace in his daily life with her, considering her erratic emotions. Why did he choose to marry Selena in the first place? Indeed, she appeared to be a remarkable individual externally, but internally she is self-absorbed. I ponder if her upbringing contributed to her spoiled nature due to her physical appearance. I am concerned about Tyler, but I cannot interfere in his marriage because it is his decision. My brother also supports my marriage too. The following day, while serving customers at the jewelry store as usual, I caught sight of a familiar silhouette outside the World Store's glass window. It was Selena, and she was arm in arm with a man of similar age. Since she is 10 years younger than my brother, her companion must be in his late 20s. The two entered the store, engaged in intimate conversation. I made a decision to assist them and called them over. Then she exclaimed, "Oh my goodness, you are working in the store. That's quite amusing." They entered without offering any apology. "Who is the gentleman over there?" I asked her anxiously, but she simply responded, "He is from my previous modeling business." Even though they were all acquaintances, how is it possible for them to intertwine their arms when she is married? While I was perplexed, Selena leaned towards the glass display case and inquired, "Could you please show me this diamond necklace? And also this one?" She continued speaking to me in a carefree manner, asking if they could receive an employee discount at the store. Feeling embarrassed by her audacious behavior, I explained to her that I couldn't offer any employee discounts while presenting the necklace. The truth is, I lied because I felt disgusted that the man she was with would purchase it for her. Selena became slightly irritable, but she selected some accessories and purchased 2 elegant necklaces adorned with diamonds before leaving. As expected, the man paid the bill. What kind of relationship do those two truly have? I hesitated, but ultimately decided to inform my brother about what I witnessed today. When I called him later that night, he appeared to be in a worse mood than usual. I asked Tyler, "What's wrong? You seem to be in a bad mood." I thought something might have happened with Selena, but I didn't mention it to him. He replied, "No, I'm just worried about Mary. We are getting married soon, so I'm saving up for our wedding fund. In the upcoming year, I was curious if both you and Selena would like to join us." I informed him about the wedding without mentioning Selena, but he seemed unsure. I wonder what was the issue. "Mary, I have something to give you in the future, so let's meet at my parents' house." After saying that, he hung up the phone without waiting for my response. Perhaps he wasn't feeling well. My brother, a surgeon, is more concerned about other people's well-being than anyone else, but he always neglects his own health. My brother laughed and said it was an occupational hazard, but I was worried about him precisely because he was so busy. I wonder if my brother is still performing surgeries every day. I don't think I can rely on much support from Selena, his swipe, who would typically be concerned about him. After that, Tyler sent me an email informing me of the gathering schedule at my parents' house. When I contacted my parents, they also received the email. When I arrived at my parents' house that day, I discovered that my brother had already arrived. It had only been a few days since Ella saw him, but his complexion was worse than ever before. I asked, "Hey, what's wrong with your face? Haven't you been getting enough sleep?" Both my parents and I were worried, and we asked him about it. But all he said was that he was busy with work. Boldly, I confronted him in front of my parents about what had been bothering me. The other day, Selena came to my store holding hands with a young man. I wondered who he was. Infidelity. Tyler, are you being deceived? Once again, her tendency to be unfaithful is nothing new. I have been aware of this for quite some time. I have been too occupied with my work to give her much attention. That's what my brother said, but my parents were extremely angry. Come to think of it, she did not attend today's gathering. Of course, her absence provided the opportunity for me to bring this up. When I asked Tyler what was wrong with Selena, he replied, "Selena is not here today. That's why I asked you all to come here. I have a request for everyone." Saying this with a serious expression on his face, my brother began to inform us of something surprising. After finishing listening, we looked at each other and asked him, "Tyler, is this true? Are you certain about this?" No matter how many times we asked, his response remained unchanged. 3 months later, my brother passed away. He had stomach cancer due to stress and overwork, which is not surprising. He had to work diligently every day, performing surgeries and fulfilling his duties as a doctor. However, when he returned home, his wife was waiting for him, not only neglecting her household responsibilities, but also showing no concern for him. My brother knew exactly what was happening with his body. He underwent a harsh examination due to his discomfort. He discovered the cancer and received treatment for it. I wish he had confessed earlier. Why do you always keep it to yourself, Tyler? I cried at the funeral, overwhelmed with a sense of helplessness. Memories of my brother, who used to play with me when I was a young child, kept replaying in my mind. He stood by my side when I was going through difficult times. I stumbled and fell, experiencing a lack of success in the club activities. Sadly, he departed this world at a young age, not even reaching 40 years old. I felt sorrowful and mournful, pondering what to do with these emotions. However, there was one individual who seemed out of place in this situation, Selena. Despite the passing of her beloved husband, she wore the necklace she had purchased from my store on the day of the funeral. The necklace was ostentatious, adorned with diamonds, and certainly not appropriate for such a solemn occasion. What's more, it was bought by another man. This was truly repugnant and inexcusable. My sadness transformed into anger, and I confronted Selena, questioning why she would wear such an item. Did she not realize how deeply my brother cared for her? Selena Wu, always in a sour mood, responded to me with a wide grin on her face. She dismissed my concerns, stating that she was well aware of his infidelity and that it was normal for people to treat her differently in this world. She even had the audacity to suggest that if I didn't like it, I shouldn't have married her. I couldn't believe she would say such things in front of my brother. Both my parents and I struggled to keep our voices down, seething with anger. I wished for this woman to suffer in hell, even though Selena's self-centered remarks continued. She revealed that my brother claimed to be too busy to spend time at home, effectively ending our relationship as a couple. However, there was one silver lining to being married. As his wife, I would inherit a sum of money that I could enjoy for the rest of my life. Upon hearing this, I impulsively slapped Selena, but my attempt was thwarted by a bold man who intervened. When I caught sight of his face, the man withdrew his hand and greeted me politely. "I work as a nurse at Taylor's. He instructed me to ensure your safety." As the explanation didn't make sense to me, I felt confused. Suddenly, laughter filled the air at the funeral, which puzzled me because it was supposed to be a solemn occasion. I turned around and noticed some familiar faces among the attendees. They were nurses and doctors who had worked with my brother. Curious, I approached one of them while they were laughing and asked why they were finding amusement in this situation. The person replied, questioning if my brother had left any significant legacy behind. My family would have known about it. I admitted that my brother hadn't left behind any substantial inheritance. However, Selena, who was unaware of this fact, started to panic. She accused them of planning to deceive her and divide the money among themselves and their families. She mentioned Tyler, a surgeon in Tokyo, and eagerly anticipated discovering his savings. The nurse's laughter turned into hysterical laughter upon hearing Selena's words. My father intervened, stepping in front of Selena, and asked if she truly didn't know. Confused and impatient, Selena demanded an explanation, so I proceeded to clarify the situation to her. I explained that my brother had actually left money for me and my friends prior to his passing. He had given me 10 million yen as a wedding gift and financial support. I'd further explained that my brother had become overwhelmed with the pressures of work and family, often spending large sums of money on extravagant entertainment. The more I disclosed, the more Selena's complexion shifted from blue to white. My brother had seemed like a flawless individual with high achievements, but he had his flaws. A person who invested a significant amount of money to alleviate stress. It is worth mentioning that this individual never bothered anyone or frequented reputable dining establishments. Instead, they simply spent a considerable sum of money and regularly hosted large dinner gatherings with supportive individuals. They would often rent out cruise ships for these parties and stay in luxurious hotel suites. These were likely activities they desired to share with their spouse, Selena, but she was absent during their difficult moments. It was their colleagues at work who provided support. The nurses, who erupted in laughter, mentioned that despite being constantly busy, this person took care of them and invited them to parties that other doctors wouldn't. The party itself was truly remarkable, making the attendees feel like celebrities and inspiring them to work harder, even in their most challenging jobs. Furthermore, the person's brother had donated the remainder of their estate to the hospital. Representatives from the general hospital arrived to bid farewell and express their gratitude. The hospital had been facing annual challenges due to insufficient research funding, but thanks to the generous donation, the person's future medical care will be greatly aided. It is evident that this person was kind to numerous individuals, not just those close to them. However, Selena, who should have been the closest to them, was heard shouting at their colleagues in a loud voice. She expressed her frustration, stating that since they didn't have children, she was expected to handle everything on her own. She accused them of taking away from her without permission and labeled them as thieves. She demanded that they repay every penny they had supposedly taken from her. With these words, she departed, leaving behind a period of 4 months. After some time, Selena contacted me. I was taken aback and asked her to clarify what she meant. She expressed her dissatisfaction as soon as she answered the phone. She was attempting to gather a living will from both our colleges and Tyler's colleges, all while organizing her other assets, including the mansion where she currently resides and his empty books. However, during this process, they discovered that Tyler had accumulated a significant amount of debt. Although 20 million yen may not seem like much considering his earnings, all of it had already been withdrawn. Selena, who had her eyes set on the mansion, apparently went through the inheritance procedures without thoroughly checking the details. She pleaded, "Hey, we're family, aren't we? You'll help us, right?" My response was clear. Tyler is no longer with us, so we are no longer family. I told her that if she had done so much for my brother, I would help her when she was in trouble. But how could she expect me to do so after being so selfish all this time? She then realized that if she renounced the inheritance, she would have nowhere to live since the mansion was included. In a frustrated voice, Selena asked me what she should do. I coldly informed her that inheritance entails inheriting debts as well. I also mentioned that I had heard one can renounce the inheritance after 3 months of being informed about it. I suggested that she sell the new brands she had collected. Selena cried and repeatedly begged for forgiveness for her past actions, but I simply hung up the phone. With my brother's passing, our wedding had to be postponed by a year from the planned date. My husband and parents-in-law witnessed the emotional turmoil I was going through. Having experienced a period of low spirits, it was suggested that it would be acceptable to delay it for a bit longer. I had concerns that my brother would be upset with me if I appeared too gloomy. It would be wonderful if you could attend my wedding. I have made a commitment to live my life, assisting those who support me, such as yourself. I made a promise to myself and attended the wedding. My brother was well-liked, and following his passing, many of his colleagues came to pay their respects and visit his grave. When I heard that he had spent money on everyone at work, I was genuinely concerned that it might be misused. However, if it was solely about money, no one would have come. Each day, I find myself growing more and more in admiration of my brother, even after his passing. Oh, by the way, Selena may face financial ruin. She works at the same jewelry store as I do, and being in the same industry, it is easy to hear gossip about people involved in buying and selling. Lately, the main topic of conversation has been Selena's downfall. I heard that she has been returning jewelry to a store she used to frequent, not just our store. Furthermore, several men have been seen at other stores, different from the one I witnessed, leading to speculation that she may be involved with about 20 others. Rumors started spreading within minutes, attracting the attention of those who enjoy drama. Some of these men are married, and I wonder how many of them she will end up paying alimony to. As a result, she had to sell her mansion and is now residing on the second floor of a restaurant while working 3 part-time jobs. However, the number of her developers is not decreasing whatsoever. It's unfeasible with her expenditure. Custom, my sibling, used to squander money on individuals who treated him well, but she solely squanders it on herself in a manner I suppose she and Tyler were a suitable pair in regards to role expenditure. Nonetheless, I believe it is incorrect for me to wed for wealth, and I will forever shield Tyler just as he did for me.